Boa tarde ou boa noite. Good afternoon, good evening. Here I am. Now we are about to try the Just Be good wine. Not sure what time you are experience this wine, so let's say you have it in your hands. That's the way to go. I love it. Why? Weird and wonderful? Because of all of it. The project behind of this wine, of this winery, the area, the people behind it, everything is just fascinating and so unusual. Still in our days, they have all the certifications: organic, vegan, carbon footprint certified, you name it, it's there. I will show you a video, or maybe two, let's see, from the winemaker and the people in the winery, for you to see what I mean by this. All the bio side of it, all the very environmental skilled and ideas behind this project are incredible for Nilma and for me. Here now we are not in Portugal, we are in Valencia, but we are in an area of Valencia, so Spain. It is quite high altitude, so freshness, meaning in their wines. And that is why we loved so much, and we decided at the beginning of this year, welcome them in the Marta Wine family, let's say. So I hope you enjoy. It's fascinating. It's a wine with a lot of structure, quite a bulky name, but a beautiful aroma, and on the palate for me is fascinating, very smooth, very elegant. Also a bit weird though here, but always wonderful, because it's 100% Marcelin. This is one grape that is a cross. Everything starts with a cross in between two grapes, the Monastrell and sorry, I cannot remember. Cabernet. Everyone knows Cabernet. So they are the two ones that work wonderful way together. And I think it gives a great structure to a wine that has a lot of depth. Quite smooth, but I get a little bit of maybe red fresh berry, and then soon after just like really soft, dark prunes, really welcoming. It's a wine that I think, and of course I remember it well, has lovely tannins there as well. Very well balanced, a great structure, with everything working together in a very elegant way. So don't be put off by this name. Just check it out. See these videos that I'm about to show you of the place and the fascinating people and ideas behind wines that have a difference for Nilmans. If you are an environment ideologist, just go with them. They are very, very good, very impressive project.
So the idea behind Just Fucking Good Wine from Nederman, it's stated in the name. So we just want wine that expresses itself in purity and in sensuality. So harvest our best organic grapes, which we of course grow without any pesticides, any chemical compounds, and then smoothly press them, natural yeast fermentation and slow aging in oak. And then, well, what comes up from all that work it's a fruity wine that's wholesome, that it's really fills your mouth, but it fills your mouth with silky tannins and beautiful aromas on a very balanced structure. Wine to enjoy, and just believe that wine is good, and it's fucking good on its own.
We get the healthy grapes without spraying, by growing flowers in our vineyard. So flowers, they attract wasps, little tiny wasps, whose larvae, whose sons, will feed on the insects that are harmful for the vineyard. Insects are funny. Adult wasps do not feed on the insects that harm the vineyard, are just their babies. So we grow the flowers for the adults, enhancing the babies to feed on the pests we may have. So it's a perfectly natural and balanced way of controlling the possible insects that may harm our grapes. And it's pretty. There's another way we have to help the vineyard grow without pressure from insects and without obviously spraying any chemicals on the vineyard. So this is a very funny wire because it's made of female moth smell. So the smell of a female moth is not something you want to smell. It stinks actually. But this very stinky wire, when we place it on the vineyard, what it does, it fills the vineyard with female moth smell. So when the male moth comes searching for the female in order to mate and have children, he will never actually find the female. So he will not mate, they will have no children, and that means there will be no worms in our vineyard that may harm our grapes. So this is a perfect organic way of helping our little tiny grapes that you see here to grow completely healthy and tasty without spraying, without using any chemical compound that will go into the wine. So yes, these are the old bush vines we grow in Neleman. And what does bush vine mean? It means that the shape of the canopy is like an umbrella that's keeping the grapes, the fruit, inside the umbrella. So the fruit is protected from direct sun exposure. We want this protection because we want aromas to be kept in the berries. And if grapes are directly exposed to the heat, to the sun, the aromas, they just disappear. They fly up into the atmosphere and they're gone forever. Yes, so this autumn has been particularly rainy here in Valencia. Here in Casas del Rey, because we're up in the mountains, we haven't had that much rain. So that means that today grapes are crunchy, they're pretty, but they're still stiff. So they're full of flavor and just ready to be harvested. In fact, we started harvesting yesterday, Monday, and this plot will be the last to harvest. And if you see, we can get an approach to the berry. So you see that the seeds are starting to be ripe and that the color is already going from the skin into the must. And yes, this is telling you that grapes are ready for harvesting. It'll be a lovely red wine.
Diego,
Yes.
can you tell us about the Dino?
About the Dino. Well, as you can see behind us, at the top of the mountains, we're about 950 meters above sea level. So this means that very ancient soils came from down beneath and were pushed by the continents while they moved, and ancient soil was risen from the bottom to the top. So in fact, we're standing on soils that are between 150 and 200 million years old.
Wow.
So this means they come from the Jurassic times. And well, you know, you've all seen the movie Jurassic Park. So dinosaurs were walking 200 million years ago on these very same soils where we are growing our bobal. So today is March the 9th and we just planted 10 days ago the 2020 trees that will compensate or offset all our carbon footprint. So this is a public ground that belongs to the town hall. So, and what we do, we calculate our CO2 emissions, okay? And then we calculate the amount of trees we need to plant every year to offset all those, so to make it neutral. And every year we plant on public grounds in the natural park the amount of trees needed to trap the CO2 we are releasing by doing our agriculture and winemaking.
Yeah, and a question that a lot of people have, how do you calculate how many trees for a bottle? Or
we take into account the amount of CO2 released by actually making the glass bottle, which is the biggest amount. Then the second biggest amount is the amount of diesel that needs to be burned to send a bottle from Casas del Rey Valencia to the Netherlands or to other country. So all that is calculated, is taken into account, and then is compensated by these baby trees that were planted just 10 days ago.
And why this kind of tree?
Because they are the natural trees that go here and that can develop here. All this planting is guided by the natural park. So we plant the species that the natural park wants us to plant. Yeah.